It's week 1, baby.
We're previewing this matchup.
We're going to the sideline for practice.
And we got a special guest.
All that and more, starting right now. Welcome into Command Center, presented by SeatGeek, the official primary ticketing partner of the Washington Commanders. What's good, Commanders family? My name is Brian Colbert Jr., and I will be your new host of Command Center. I'm honored and privileged to be a part of such an illustrious organization, and I look forward to meeting all the fans throughout the season. And if you see me around town, make sure you say what's up. And last but not least, major shout out to Julie Donaldson and Michael Jenkins for holding down the fort here and setting the bar incredibly high. I promise you, Command Center is in good hands. Now, for a guest that needs no introduction, take it away, guys.
Mr. Johnson. So what do we call you? Mr. Johnson? We call you Magic? We call you Mike?
No. Let's call me Magic.
I'm
good.
Cool. We're sitting here with a legend, you know what I mean? So one of the things you talked about in your press conference is winning, right? And you are a guy that's won championships as a player, won championships as an owner. What do you think is like the catalyst for that for you?
Well, I think first of all, it starts with the players, right?
Yeah.
And the player, you have to have great players, great with a willingness to first play as a team, play their role, sacrifice, because you have to also be pulling in the same direction. And then last but not least, you have to be competitive as hell. Right. You got to be able to compete, and we have to have great leaders. Okay. And when you have great leaders, they hold the team together. And mindset, attitude, preparation, discipline, all that goes into that. So I think that my mindset has always been to get around guys who understand those type of things. And thank God, man above have blessed me with the teams that I played on, but also with the players that I played with. And so that's what it takes, all of us saying, hey, we got one goal, and that's to win. And we'll do whatever it takes to win a championship.
Introduce me to a young Magic, all right? Because you seem to have the Midas out of Magic touch, to whatever you touch, it turns to gold. Any other sports in high school? Did you try to play football? Did you try to play baseball? Let's soccer in it. Take us there. Come on. He owns soccer. Bring it up.
I did play football up in Pop Warner and then junior high.
What position you played?
I played both ends, tight end, defensive end. And so when we got to high school, I had made the team. Here I am starting at both ends, and all of a sudden I'm in the huddle, and somebody is knocking on my helmet. So I'm thinking it's the coach, and it's my father and the basketball coach.
Tell you, come on. You wasting your time. You wasting your time, man. Not today. Not today. Turn in your equipment.
And because football runs 3 weeks into basketball season, and they said, no way you can miss 3 weeks. And so I cried, man, and turned in my equipment. But I still went to every game. And my father, I told him, I turned around and said, during basketball season, you made the right decision.
You don't know it until you know it.
That's right.
So did you know, I'm assuming you were a freshman, right? Did you know I was going to be a great basketball player, or was it how did that all play out?
You know you're good.
Okay.
But you still have to now prove it, because now this is my first year in high school. So sure enough, I led that school to a state championship, and everything went great. Again, it's all about not just me, it's the guys that you play with. And people forget that, So you could be the greatest player you want to be, but if the guys are not believing that they can win, or they're reaching their potential as well, then you can't win. So every guy, we came together and we turned that school around in the basketball program. And so I'm an avid sports fan. I love sports. Boxing, tennis, I watch, the US Open, on and on and on. I just love sports, man. And then my love is really football every Sunday and Saturday. I used to watch the game. I'm still watching the games now, but now to own the Commanders, be one of the owners, it's amazing.
Speaking of that, this was a question that was just something that I wanted to ask you a long time ago. Being a ball player, and now you're in a different world, you're in the business world. What are some of the things that you learned as a ball player, whether it was early or later, that you carried over into the world that you're in now?
That's a great question, because the same discipline I had as an athlete and as a basketball player is the same discipline I must have as a businessman. And then I'm always prepared. And I tell people all the time, preparation is everything. Everything. And so no matter what meeting I'm going into, I over-prepare like I was as a player, right? And then I think the dedication, the hard work, my work ethic has always been amazing. So that same work ethic I take as a businessman as well. And then last but not least, it's the same winning attitude, man. I hate to lose.
That's what I had to change. That hasn't changed. But tell me this also too, because I remember, being kind of like out the league my first year, and the first thing I kind of dove into, I was like, well, I got to get back on my routine. I don't have no goal or no plan right now, but I knew what I did for 14 years of being a professional athlete, so I need to get back into doing something. What was that like for you when you said, okay, now I'm in a new world? Did you have the same routine? Did you get up in the morning and say, okay, I'm gonna have to go to this meeting, that meeting, this meeting, but I need to do this first to get me started?
Well, we've been coached our whole life, and we've had a schedule our whole life. So what I did was I turned to working out first. So I get up early. So I'm at 4 o'clock. I wake up. Oh yeah, I wake up 4 o'clock. I go to bed at 8:30 every morning. I mean every night. Wake up at 4:30. I'm in the gym for 2 hours, and then I go to my office all day. So what happens a lot of times with athletes, we lose our discipline. So if you keep your discipline, then you can apply that to whatever field,
to everything,
right? But once you lose that, then it's hard. That's right. So I kept that discipline. Then I looked up and said, this is what I want to do after I'm done. So I got into first little business, and then the little one turned into the second one, and then you start growing. You can't be impatient. You just got to grow, and then I'm a perfectionist, so I like to do everything the right way. And that came from being an athlete. And so nothing has changed. I'm still a driven man. I still love to win, but now I'm winning in a different arena. And then I started in urban America, in the black and brown community, because I knew that community, so I built my business there first, because I knew what the community wanted. So I brought the movie theaters, the Starbucks, and those things to the community, and it created jobs too at the same time.
With you being a force multiplier as a point guard, like being a point guard, you played point guard different than anybody. You made everybody else around you better.
I appreciate it.
Is that something you can teach, or are you just born with that? Because we all athletes, but we all different athletes, and we done made it to different stages. Do you think you being a force multiplier is have helped you truly embrace all the business you've taken on?
Oh, no question about it. I mean, I'm still doing that today. I mean, I'm still the point guard.
You still the point guard.
I'm still doing it. It's just in a different arena, and so I believe you can do well and do good at the same time, right? So I'm still trying to bless others, whether that's athletes who want to become businessmen, or whether that's non-athletes who want to be businessmen, businesswomen. Try to give them the information, and then I love giving back, so I'm still touching the community in that way. So God has put me on this earth to really just be that point guard on the court, but also in life too. And so it hasn't stopped. And I think that's my purpose, right? And we all must know our purpose. Like you was talking about, we knew what we were as athletes. We knew that, and all four of us excelled.
Yeah.
So now is how do we excel now, but in a different arena.
Yeah.
That's all.
And you kind of talk about you being the point guard, but for this deal here with the team, it seemed like Josh Harris was the point guard.
Yeah.
How was that new role for you and kind of fit in a new spot, and then joining kind of an elite club of one of three or four
owners,
minority owners? Like, how's that been?
Oh man, well I think first joining the club and being a African American to represent the black community has been awesome. And we lost the Denver bid, Josh and I.
Thank God.
Yes. and I was about to say that. Yeah. Actually, it worked out better.
Yeah.
And so his story about growing up here, waiting 25 years for season tickets, the whole thing.
Yes.
And myself already, I've done business here. I mean, a lot of business here. And so I think that this was the great opportunity for Josh and I and the whole group to have a storied franchise, like before the Redskins, of course, now the Commanders. And so I carry the banner for all athletes, but also all African Americans. And so that we can do this, and we can be great on the field or on the court, but also we can translate that and also be great as business owners. And so I'm excited. Whatever Josh needs me to do, wants me to do, needs me to do, I'm gonna do it, and so but again, you're gonna see me in the community and giving back. I love I'm gonna go to a Boys and Girls Club soon here. I'm gonna be all over the place, going to school, speaking, because I love, we're four that's got blessed. So also we gotta tell our story and make sure the kids know that, hey, you can do this too, right? But you gotta work hard, you gotta get your grades, you gotta do what you need to do. So my role in this will get out into the community and make a difference, give back, and then whatever else they need me to do.
That's big. I remember you saying that day one, and I want to tell you, when you start doing that in this community, you can lean on us. That's something that I do for the team.
We're always there.
I'm willing to, if you need another guy from the team, they'll come out there with you, and then we can all share our stories and let them know that they can see us.
And you and I talked about doing that, and we're going to do that.
Let's do that.
And we're going to do that because it takes all of us. It can't just take me. We all four of us need to be out there doing it in a great way, because we can change somebody's life, and so somebody helped us. I tell people all the time, if it wasn't for different people in the community, I wouldn't have never made it to the NBA. Right.
Well, we can talk to you all day.
Thank you so much, Magic. It feels cool calling you Magic.
Time for Fred's Fired Up, presented by FanDuel. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of your Washington Commanders. Welcome to Fred's Fired Up, and I am really fired up today.
I can't wait to hear it, man.
Abracadabra! We got Magic in the house today. It is off the chain. You want to talk about the Midas touch? You want to talk about the Magic touch? How many rings he got?
He's 14 total.
All right, how many as a player?
Player 6.
How many as an owner? 8. Oh my goodness. So guess what? We got 3 and we waiting for more. Tune in. This one's gonna be fun.
So we know Fred's fired up, and Commanders fans, we have a reason for you to be fired up as well. You are invited to join us as we kick off the 2023 season. On Friday, September 8th, we'll be at Franklin Park in Washington, D.C. for our season kickoff party presented by Bud Light. The event will feature giveaways, performances from the marching band and the command force, meet and greets with Washington legends, an appearance from Major Tuddy, and special appearances from current Commander players. Learn more and sign up to attend this free event at commanders.com/kickoff party. Now that we got the details, let's dive into this matchup. Time for our mission debrief presented by the Washington Times.
Now, fellas, Cardinals are right around the corner. What are y'all looking for the Commanders in week 1?
I'm looking for them, because there's so much excitement and energy going to be in the building. I'm looking for them just to calm down and get into a routine.
Talking about the team?
The team. Calm down and get into a playmaking routine. Offensively, defenses, and special teams. Defense, pick up where you left off last year. Offense, turn the page and open a whole new chapter. Special teams, do what you've been doing. I just want to see them play to their potential.
Yeah, for me, it's just about playing competitive football.
Yeah.
You know, like, can we be detail-oriented on offense, no penalties? Can we stay ahead of the sticks in terms of offensive production? And defensively, can we be this dominant group that everyone's been talking about? This group's been together for 3 years. They should come out and dominate this Arizona group. I'm not saying that to pick on Arizona.
Yeah.
I know you got a lot to say about that,
Well, I
Fred.
do.
But what I'm saying is that, like, I just think they should be able to kind of put their stamp on any offense. And that's what I think.
Yeah,
Good, consistent football.
I kind of want to piggyback off of both of what you guys are saying. I just want to see them fly around the field in every phase of the game. You know, defensively, offensively, and special teams wise. I think we have the guys. You know, one of the things that coach has been harping on is about developing guys, and I feel like he's been here long enough, so he have a good core of guys that he believes in that's going to be out there. The defense should be intact with everything. Offensively, it's new, but we've seen these guys in the preseason be able to take in all that coaching and be able to display it in the preseason game. So I want to see him every phase of the game, fly around and show your dominance. You know?
Absolutely.
And you guys touched on this in the Command Center podcast. Make sure y'all tune in. Make sure y'all listen. What are some of the matchups that you guys are looking for week one? Logan, I'm gonna start with you.
Yeah, I think for me the most obvious one is the rookie, man. The rookie out of Ohio State, Johnson, their right tackle. He's a really good football player, but Montez Sweat's a good football player. And I want to see Montez Sweat get after him. You know, he's a big, athletic, young player. And young players have a hard time with veteran players, right? Guys have been around the block, right?
Yeah.
So I think, you know, obviously it's going to be a good litmus test for him as a player, but also I think Montez Sweat, we keep talking about how dominant can he be. And I think this is an opportunity for him to kind of say, my skill set, my length, my power is something you struggle with in college. Let me show you what's up. Welcome to the NFL moment for me. So that's one that I'm keeping an eye on because I think, as we know, rushers can change the course of a game.
Yeah, most definitely change the game. I guess if I had to say the matchup I'm watching for, it's Sam Howell. I think he's the biggest story of what's going on. It's Sam Howell, not just versus the Cardinals, versus the NFL, versus expectations, versus everything. We're going to see who he is. Yes, he started against Dallas last year, but we only can take some things from this. He went into this offseason, he's going into this year. You're the franchise quarterback, you're the guy. Do you let those expectations wear you down, or do you rise to the occasion? From what I see from him, from his emotions or his lack of, I think he'll be all right.
You know, one of the things that we've been talking about, you know, the entire preseason is just how loaded we are at the receiver position. But I'm not going to just talk about the receiver in the passing game. I think our entire package when it comes to our passing game. The receivers, the backs out the backfield, the tight ends. If you know anything about the Kansas City Chiefs offense, you've seen how they do things. They setting you up for you know,
the next play.
Exactly. So with what we have at the tight end position, the guys outside, the guys in the backfield, he just spoke about Sam. He has so many guys that he can make, you know, that can allow him to play efficient and ease his game. So I want to see how our passing game go out there and start.
And that's funny you said that, Taylor. Do y'all think he's going to rely on the guys that been there, done that, with him being the new piece? Because if I'm the new piece and I got Logan Thomas at tight end, guy that been there, done that, do I lean on him? Do I lean on Antonio Gibson in the back? Like, I think that's real important to what happens.
I mean, I think he's shown us who he's going to lean on. It's going to be Jahan Dotson. Right? It's going to be Jahan Dotson. And in this matchup specifically, right? Like, I think there's not a DB out there that I think can cover Jahan right now, especially from Arizona. So I think that's a matchup you're going to see a ton of. I think that's who he's going to lean on. And Logan Thomas, with his health being question mark, I think maybe Cole Turner you see out there. But he's built relationships with those guys.
Yeah, so. Cole Turner, Boodle Baker. Watch out for that matchup right there.
A lot of exciting matchups for Commander fans to be looking forward to.
It's time for Air Power, presented by Air National Guard, proud partner of the Washington Commanders. The former first rounder picked up where he left off this preseason. Dotson's rookie season was nothing short of impressive. The 16th overall pick in 2022 totaled over 500 yards and 7 touchdowns his rookie season. Dotson looked just as good this preseason, totaling over 100 yards on 7 receptions. His lone touchdown came off a 30-yard bomb from quarterback Sam Howell. We're excited to see Dotson on game day, and we know London Fletcher is too. London, who's setting the tone this game day?
It's time to set the tone. Brought to you by Maryland Lottery Fast Play Games. Play fast, win fast today. Please play responsibly. My tone setters for this game against the Arizona Cardinals. I'm going to start with the big guys. You always got to start with the big fellas when you talk about setting the tone. Starting off with Pro Bowl defensive tackle Jonathan Allen. J.A., he always sets the tone. I look for him to dominate against the Arizona Cardinals offensive line. On the other side of the ball, Sam Cosmi. He's going to be setting the tone for that offensive line. I like him in pass protection and also provide some gaping holes for our running backs to get through. On the defensive side of the ball, I'm going to get with another guy who I think will be a tone setter. On the back end, guy who doesn't get enough credit. Defoe, Derek Forrest. He's going to be out there patrolling the middle of that field, setting the tone on the back end of that defense. And on the other side, can I go quarterback with Sam Howell to set the tone? Or should I go running back like B-Rob? You know what? I'm going to go with both those guys. B-Rob and Sam Howell will also set the tone. Those are my tone setters for the game against the Arizona Cardinals.
London is still setting the tone for game day. Let's get a look at this game day guide brought to you by SeatGeek, your ticket to great Commander seats. We're excited to see you all out at FedEx Field this Sunday at 1 p.m. Gates will be open 2 hours prior to kickoff, so be sure to check out the Game Day Live set. You can also tune into Game Day Live on YouTube, Facebook, and X beginning at noon. Join myself alongside Brian Mitchell and Santana Moss for all your pregame coverage. And after the game, be sure to check out Postgame Live with myself, B. Mitch, and breakdown guru Logan Paulson. Speaking of breaking it down, let's send it out to the practice field. It's time for your Field Pass presented by FedEx, where now meets next. Guys, what are you seeing out at practice?
All right, thanks, Brian. All right, let's start off with the quarterbacks, man. And I love this drill to kind of start off. You know, everyone just kind of getting the blood moving again, moving through stuff. We've got the coaches giving an X or hands up, right? So they can kind of check both, work those eyes. What is the expectation for the young Airwolf this week against Arizona?
I think just to come out, keep his poise, play mistake-free football. Like, the one thing we got to understand about Sam Howell, he's not going to be his best in week one. He's going to get better week in and week out, and I just want to see the maturation period, but I also want him to control what he can control, and that's not turning the ball over, not having any penalties, playing a clean, what we call clean football game.
I think some of the things that we've seen already from them already, just allow things to flow the way they're going to flow. I think when you press, that's when you get the games that some of these guys have shown or been able to display where they're high in the interception numbers, or their rating's not up there because they have so many incompletions. As a receiver, I used to always tell the quarterback, like, hey, if it ain't there, don't throw it to me. I don't want you to force nothing. So when you see it open, then let me have it. So I think as a young guy, I hope he has either a coach or one of those players in his ears letting him know, hey, you ain't got to do nothing special. You got the guys around you to do all that for you.
Well, I'm glad you touched on that, Santana, because when you think about Sam and his demeanor is, hey, I don't have to go out there and try to do everything. I don't have to go out there and try to win the ball game myself. Go out, play his game. I think one thing that Eric Bieniemy, the play caller, is going to do is give him some easy throws. Also, run the ball to get him comfortable in the game plan. And then from Sam, the Sam that you want to see from him is, are you making the right decision with the football? If it's an RPO, are you handing it off when you should, or are you throwing it when you need to? Are you going to the right reads with the ball? If it's going through progressions, that's what I want to see from Sam, and that's why I expect to see from Sam in week one.
London, let me ask you this, because we both played on the same defense. We know how to go in looking at a young quarterback. Like, defense is going to interpret him as a rookie quarterback, even though this is his second year. What do you think he needs to do to prepare for those defenses that how we come at rookie quarterback, young quarterback, we want to set him on fire. All right, so, get him off his point, get him off his tee. What would you think a defense is going to look like?
Before you start, and that's something Jonathan Gannon hasn't traditionally done.
Yeah.
But I think because he's young, you probably see that, right? Fletch, you see him
that's when you look at Gannon, they're going to play a lot of kind of match zone coverage or things like that. You want him to think just a little bit.
Yeah.
Hold the football just a little bit. Not being able to identify pre-snap, hey, if it's man-to-man, or if it's blitz, those types of things. Mm-hmm. You want a young quarterback to have to go through his reads. Another thing that they'll probably try to do, you look at Sam, they'll look at all of the situations where he's had trouble in the pocket. Mm-hmm. What type of pass rush was it? So you just assume that those tackles or those defensive ends won't get too far
from the field and funneling him back in.
Try to keep him in that pocket. And those are things that, why I say from a play calling standpoint, expect Eric Bieniemy to move the pocket, get him on some bootleg, get him on some waggles, and let him get comfortable.
I was just about to say, nowadays we see the OCs making sure that they set up a game plan
to protect the quarterback.
Because this league now is different from back in the day when we had the traditional pocket passes. Most of these guys who are at the helm these days, on you name the teams, our first 6 or 7 teams, all those guys are
moves. They move around.
They're mobile quarterbacks. So I'm sure that every OC on every given team now is saying, hey, well, I have to be a little more respectful of what the other side might view us as, knowing that we're agile enough to break the pocket. They don't want to see you break it, but it might happen because now with you playing the zone coverages or making that guy hold the ball too long,
they're scheming it up.
Use that last resort.
Sticking with quarterbacks, you know, the Arizona Cardinals, they released Colt McCoy, who most people thought would be the starter while Kyler Murray was out there being injured. But now they signed Josh Dobbs last week.
Dobbs.
And they have the rookie Clayton Tune. They haven't named the starter. Jonathan Gannon, he's holding that to close to a vest, to a competitive advantage in their mindset. Who do you all think is going to be the starter for the Arizona Cardinals?
I think Joshua Dobbs.
It's got to be Joshua Dobbs.
It's got to be because you don't want I don't know what Arizona wants, first of all.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point.
Second of all, I just think you put the guy that got some shirts, some pellets in his closet. So I think that'll be Joshua Dobbs. And then you got to say.
He knows the system. He knows the system.
Yeah, he knows the system.
From Cleveland, and he came from Cleveland.
And when the play breaks down, he's the one that can go out there and get you a first down with his legs. Where Tune, I don't think he's fast as him, but he is a good athlete.
And maybe I'm being biased because the last time we saw Joshua Dobbs was in that Tennessee game, which was like a Thursday night or Sunday night game, and he looked really sharp. Being there only for 2 weeks, he's a smart player. He's cerebral. He doesn't have the best physical tools, but in this offense, right? One of the things is like a lot of check with me's, a lot of kind of maximizing each play. You need a smart quarterback to do that. So I think Clayton Tune's got talent. Right?
Yeah, he can throw the ball.
But I think what you're looking for is a guy to kind of settle the ship, make sure we can execute at a high level, and like you said, Fred, the reason this is a tough decision, London, is because we don't know what Arizona's goal is, at least from a front office standpoint. Like, are they trying to get the best draft pick possible? Because that's entirely possible. Because Caleb Williams or that kid from Carolina is going to be there sitting there, and it's going to be like, wow, this is fantastic opportunity for us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's Dobbs, too. I mean, I really don't know, but at the same time, when you just look at the personnel, you look at, what that OC has ran before, and he's a guy that coming from that system. You kind of almost say, okay, if I had to guess, that'd be the guy. But who knows? I just hope that our defense is going to be ready for whoever. And I'm sure when it comes week one and the way we expect our stadium to be rocking, we can care less.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for any quarterback in FedEx Field this weekend.
We're going to stay on, watch some practice, maybe talk some more football. But, Brian, back to you.
Thank you, guys. Always great to hear some legends break down practice. Speaking of legends, 2 Washington Super Bowl champions, Rick Doc Walker and Doug Williams, sat down at DC Prime for the latest edition of Choppin' It Up. Each week, 2 Washington greats will chat Super Bowls, biggest moments from their careers, and more. You can catch Chopping It Up right here on Command Center and the Commander's social media channels. Let's take a look at what Doc and Doug had to say.
You're behind when you get in that huddle for the first time. And I'm thinking the fact that the great team that you had, you still trailing, and then you go down. Now, I've talked to all the hogs up front. I know when we missed and Joe went down, me and Jake looked over, Joe got teeth knocked out, and it kills you as a personal protector who failed. How'd you get up, and why did you get up?
Well, first of all, if you remember, Doc, if you look at that highlight, you see the trainer. Keoke comes out, and I'm laying down, my leg was stretched out, and he was about to put his hand on my knee, and I said, don't touch me. I told him, I said, hey, if the good Lord let me get up, I'm gonna finish this game. It wasn't about the pain, that wasn't important. Getting up was the key. And I got up and limped back to the sideline, went over there and talked to Bubba Tile, got a couple of aspirins, and, ran a little bit on the sideline, and they had the ball 3 and out. And Joe, I never forget, Joe came over to me and he said, Douglas. There's only 3 people. There's only 3 people in America call me Douglas. And 2 of them because I had gotten in trouble. That was my mom and my older brother.
Right.
And Coach Gibbs said, Douglas, you ready to go? I said, yeah. He said, well, let's get this sucker to rolling. That was the first play of the second quarter, man. He called Charlie 10 Hitch. No, we're forgetting. You've been around.
Oh, yeah.
Joe.
Charlie 10 Hitch.
Charlie 10 Hitch. His one belief was our receivers could beat anybody one-on-one.
One-on-one.
And Denver had press, no help. Press, no help. Ricky Sanders. Mike Haynes came up, and I looked over there, looked to the left, Gary Clark, and I saw Mike Haynes coming up to try to press Ricky Sanders, and he missed him. He went with his left hand, and Ricky got around him, and the rest of it was history. It was a horse race to the goal line, 80 yards.
We're going to keep these big moments going. It's time for Ice Cold Moments presented by Steam Fitters. Steam Fitters UA Local 602 provides the highest level HVAC and mechanical piping services.
Now, me sitting here with 3 Commanders legends. I gotta imagine that all three of y'all got some legendary moments. The moments that just give you the chills when you see the play, right? The cold moments.
Yeah, I
What
suppose so.
are some of those? Logan, I know you got the most, so I'm gonna start with you.
Yeah, so this is my first start right here. This was against the Dallas Cowboys, or the Giants, excuse me. And this was one of my first catches. Nice big play. Didn't catch the ball often, Fred.
Yeah.
So when I did, 30+ yards, that's a nice play. This was 4th and 10. We're on a 2-minute drive. Tanner scores on this drive. And this is obviously an iconic play for Robert, but holy cow, look at this.
Tanner wide open.
Wide open.
No, man. Give the playmaker the ball. That's what I'm talking about. Give the playmaker
Give the
that
load,
hang time
man.
right there,
Give the
right?
load.
There's another one against, we got killed this game. Remember this, Tanner?
Oh, man.
Killed this game.
You can't win all of them.
No one can
We
catch
was
the ball.
dropping everything.
I was the only one who catch the ball in this
I
game, I
dropped
swear.
like 4 passes
And
that game.
don't have an ACL after that, but that's good. Fired up, and then this was one of my first touchdowns in the league here. We killed these guys.
Oh, we killed this game, too.
This was 31,
Oh, you know what?
31 to 6.
scored this
Yes,
game. I scored
31 to
this game
6.
with
So
you,
yeah,
yo.
awesome little compilation of plays there for your boy.
You do. Hey, what's colder than cold?
Ice cold.
Oh, look at this right here.
Yes, sir.
Ooh, this man right here.
That's a guy that wants his hand on the ball right there. All
Yeah.
these picks. Dale Green right there. Smoot Bailey. Ain't number yellow jackets. I'm the only one with that one.
That's a feature on Bailey right there.
Oh, I can hit too. T.O. failed and all of them failed. Right
Look
here.
at this. How many picks did you have, bro?
100. Hey, listen, watch this. Go get that 2 picks that game against Steve McNair right
I
there.
ain't gonna lie, that 21 fit you, man.
Listen,
that 21
it
look
was
good
on
on you,
me.
man.
One hand. I don't need but one hand.
How do you remember all your plays?
Got him too. Just McNair. Put his ball in the field.
Back. No, I'm just kidding.
So look, and you talking about cold moments, man. I've had
You've
my
got some
share
cold moments.
of cold moments. My coldest moment was in 2005.
Yeah.
2005, it was a Christmas Eve moment, and when I say I was on, you talking about ice cold?
Yeah.
I was out of this world on fire.
Yeah.
Freak being cold,
Yeah.
they was cold, and I was on fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I had 3 touchdowns that game, I caught 2 of them from Mark Brunell. I caught my last one to end the game with Patrick Ramsey. I just couldn't miss. And one of the reasons why I brought it up as one of those most memorable or those ice cold moments for me is just because y'all talk about the Redskins against the Cowboys, the Monday Night Miracle. We talk about the Jacksonville game. That game there was Christmas Eve. Everybody was in the stands rocking Santa Claus's signs.
Yeah.
I had so many family, so much of my family up from Miami. I was giving out presents the next day, and also that day. So that's one of my most memorable moments, ice cold moments.
Them DBs did not like the presents you were giving out.
Nah, they ain't like it, man. I hate to say, man, the Giants, we was playing the Giants. That was my second 3-touchdown performance against the Giants. My first one was when I was with the Jets. So they had seen me do that before.
Well, I'm mad because they forgot my ice cold this moment. The walk-off interception against Seattle. You got to realize, close your eyes and admit this. It's a good, cool night at FedEx Field, right? Right between 70 and 65 degrees, right? Seattle is driving the ball. Like, they down 2 with like a minute and a half left. Hasselbeck drops back. You got Jax on one side, Jackson, and you got K-Rob on the other side. They run a comeback on him. It tips off of Jack's hand.
But he sounds like he was open though.
No. He was
sound like?
He said he beat me by 10 yards.
No. Literally, I'm right there in his hip pocket, right? He got a chance to catch the ball, but it goes through his hand, and now I have to catch it through his hand while keeping the toes in bounds like a wild.
Too bad we didn't get a clip of that.
Listen, all I gotta say.
Did it actually happen?
Yes, it did. Hey, Andre 3 Stacks seen it. That's all that matters.
I got a feeling Fred has all his highlights just playing on every monitor in his crib.
You know everyone. I be in the bathroom just sitting there, the highlights playing. Pass me that tissue.
Well, Commanders fans, we are hoping for plenty more big moments, especially in week 1. That is it for Command Center presented by SeatGeek. Next time we see you, we'll be at noon for Command Center Game Day Live when our boys take on the Cardinals.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception? First down? Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best. Smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.